For over 80 years, JVS has been a beacon of light, helping thousands of people help themselves. Our mission is to empower individuals to fulfill their potential, regardless of the challenges they face, and to build stronger communities across New Jersey. The story of Jewish vocational service begins in the dark days of World War II, as waves of European émigrés sought refuge and opportunity on American shores. On November 16, 1939, at 24 Branford Place in the heart of Newark, the Community Employment Service opened its doors to help the recent arrivals adapt to their new surroundings. In 1940, the organization relocated to 682 High Street, where it shared space with other social service agencies. This move signaled the organization's commitment to community partnership. As the world emerged from the shadows of war, veterans returned home, and JVS was there with employment services to support those who had served our country. In 1946, a momentous decision was made. JVS would expand its mission by delivering services to individuals considered hard to place because they were grappling with physical, emotional, social, and language barriers. And our mission kept growing, propelling JVS onto the national stage as a leader in holistic vocational support. Over time, JVS expanded into a multifaceted organization with a core mission of assisting anyone who has a barrier to employment.
JVS has always been responsive to the different world crises throughout the years. As people's barriers have evolved as well as the world, so is JVS. We really work with individuals across departments. Our main goal is to help individuals with barriers find employment and a career pathway towards success. Here at JVS, we help people help themselves.
JVS provides foundational, educational, and language services for people who want to earn their GED, become U.S. citizens, or learn English. JVS clients face unique challenges, and our career services team has developed an innovative, customized approach.
Everyone that comes into our organization, they filter into the career services department, where we have a team of career specialists who work with them one-on-one. There are several different hurdles, especially when you have a disability. It's challenging to have an employer that is receptive to employing those individuals. And that's where our process comes in. We advocate, we assist, so that they can be employed competitively.
JVS's newest program, the Center for Economic Opportunity, provides specialized training for jobs that are currently in high demand.
The main purpose of the Center for Economic Opportunity is to reach out to businesses to find out what their hiring needs are so we can accommodate jobs that are in demand. We develop customized training programs to meet those hard-to-fill positions. When a client has been accepted to one of our training programs, we make sure they not only receive the technical skills, but they receive the soft skills. We feel it's very important to not just get the job, but also have the skills to keep that employment as well.
Our certified healthcare programs are great examples of the center's success.
We have been serving more than 128 students, and from those 128, we actually have 75 that are actually working.
Once I graduate from the home health aid program, I hope to achieve a better life, physically, mentally, financially. I wanted to be a better version of myself.
JVS is just doing an amazing job, and working here at JVS, it fulfills me.
JVS was more than what I expected. Miss Lynn introduced me to the pharmacy technician course. I was sold when they said career path because that's what I wanted. I started working at Walgreens. I've been there for a couple months now, and I really do love what I do now. For my kids, they're so proud of me. My husband is very proud of me.
And as always, our work with refugees is a critical part of our mission.
Our clients are oftentimes from countries that had no infrastructure. They were in egregious situations and they aren't familiar with a lot of the programs and structure that is within the U.S. They do need a guide, a liaison. So when they come through our doors, they're relying on us to connect them with proper resources. And with us, we're able to provide that for them.
With the exciting creation of our new legal assistance program, our ability to help refugees stay in the country and find work is expanding.
The legal assistance program means that we'd be able to help our clients with filing applications like work permits. We'd be able to help our clients who are facing deportation.
The whole idea about the Refugee Legal Services program is to be able to hire a paralegal and a part-time lawyer that would be able to address these issues.
And having that would open up a wide door. We'd be able to serve them. Clients would smile and they wouldn't be so fearful of what would come tomorrow without their protected status.
Since our founding in 1939, tens of thousands of people have been helped by JVS. For over 8 decades, JVS has remained true to our central vision, helping people help themselves, creating pathways to hope, independence, and employment.
Congratulations on 85 years of impact.
Congratulations, JVS.
Congratulations on 85 years of success.
Congratulations to JVS on 85 years.
Congratulations, 85 years of helping people help themselves.
So thank you everyone for coming out this evening to honor Eric Witmondt, our board member, and to celebrate JVS's 85th anniversary. I hope everyone got a chance to look at the historical panels in the back room there. It explains where JVS was in 1939, 85 years ago, and really where we are today. Before we start, I'd just like to thank Jane Elizoff, our Chief Development Officer. Jane did a great job setting up this event. She's a historian, she's an author, she wrote all those panels out there, so really if you get a chance, take a look. So welcome to Greenbrook Country Club. It's great to see many familiar faces, and it's great to meet new people this year. We have a whole new group of people here today, and that's really great. So, but before we start the program, I just want to thank some of our sponsors here tonight. Boy, I gotta tell you, this room is filled. This is amazing. This is like the hottest ticket probably in the area, right? And it's because of Eric Witmondt. That's why it is. So thank you again. So I'd like to thank our legendary sponsors, Ken and Judy Paskin, and Eric and Jackie Witmondt. Thank you so much. I'd also like to take a moment to thank our diamond sponsors, Michael and Terry Goldberg, Howard and Meg Jacobs, the Russo Family Foundation, and our friends and partners at Valley Bank. You guys have all been the heart of JVS for many years, and we are truly grateful for all that. Next, I'd like to recognize our platinum sponsors for tonight's events, the Leibowitz family and David and Pam Pecan. Thank you, guys. Sorry, bear with me. We have a whole bunch of sponsors, so I just have to get through this. And gold sponsors, Michael Witmondt. Thank you, Michael. Petrucci Development and Design Build. Ray and Karen Blau. Canoe Brook, Choice Cabinetry, and Fotini Alteni, our board member, and the Kozlowski Family Foundation. I'd also like to thank the Reitman Foundation, who every year helps us with, you saw a little bit about the refugee services up on the screen before, and every year Reitman Foundation helps us give cash assistance to people who critically need assistance. So thank you to the Reitman Foundation also. I'd also like to thank Ira Robbins, who we all know, right? Everyone knows Ira. And the Shobron family. Thank you so much. And really, thank you everybody who came here tonight, because this really helps support the work that we do. And we really appreciate that. I'm also delighted to have a number of the JVS staff team here today. Although we don't have seats for all of them, because we have so many people show up tonight. But if you guys could, the team, JVS team, could you guys just stand up for a second? We also like to honor some volunteers that we have. Volunteers are a really important part of what JVS does. So Eli, who teaches GED classes, where is he? There he is. And Deborah, who's been helping us out in the office lately, where is she? Deborah, stand up, please. She does a great job. Thank you, Deborah. And our honored guest, who you guys saw in the video. Although Pauline couldn't be here tonight, you saw her in the video. Jasmine, and so these guys were in the video, and we really appreciate them taking the time to do the video with us. So over the past year, what has JVS done? We've graduated 250 people in our Center for Economic Opportunity, which is our workforce development program. We've helped 270 odd people learn English, get their GED, or become citizens of the United States. We helped stabilize 811 refugees who have come from war-torn countries. It's amazing how much our refugee program has increased over the last number of years. I would say a year ago, 2 years ago, we probably served 150 people, and we're probably over 1,000. So thank you to Lynn Sternstein. Where's Lynn? Lynn, thank you so much for all you do. We also provide vocational counseling for almost 300 individuals with disabilities. We provide career guidance for hundreds of individuals, and we worked with 22 employer partners to train over 2,000 workers for employers who needed help with their incumbent worker training. Altogether, our programs at JVS serve over 4,000 people a year. So as we look back through the history of JVS, as I said before, and this is our anniversary year, the staff's dedication to our clients and our mission, it's really been the common thread throughout the years. These are the reasons we can proudly say that we have had 85 years of impact. So before I relinquish the microphone tonight, I'd just like to say a few words to Eric. Because Eric, you have been truly an inspiration to me. I've really enjoyed working with you. I've learned so much. One of the greatest things about JVS's board is I get access to board members who are CEOs, who really do a lot of really important work in their day jobs, and then they come and they give me their time at night or on the weekends or whatever. But Eric has been especially great. JVS created a workforce development program about 4 or 5 years ago now. Right from the beginning, Eric was the one who said, this really makes sense. And I think, the people who know Eric, I think if Eric, latches onto something, it means that he really believes in it. And so when Eric started getting involved, he really helped me, he helped the team, really get through some difficult times, figuring out how to do it correctly. But I can tell you this for certainty. We honor Eric tonight for a lot of reasons, but for us at JVS, there are hundreds of people in Essex County working today who've been trained by JVS because of what Eric has done. So Eric, thank you so much. But I'm not alone. So when we asked Rabbi Matt Gerwitz of Temple B'nai Jeshurun to join us tonight to honor Eric, his response, and I'm going to quote, so, I am really touched by the invite. I admire, like, and respect Eric very much. Unfortunately, I am booked for the evening. I am indeed really sorry. I would have very much liked to have been there. So when we suggested that he maybe do like a pre-record video, he jumped all over the idea. He thought it was something like when you do it, when you're getting an Oscar and you can't be there. So he thought that was a really cool idea. So without further ado, from afar, here's Rabbi Matt.
Greetings all. I'm Rabbi Matthew Gewirtz. I'm the senior rabbi at Temple B'nai Jeshurun in Short Hills, and have been a big supporter and advocate of the Jewish Vocational Services for probably the entire 18 years that I've been here. I am especially honored and privileged tonight to speak on behalf of my dear friend Eric Witmondt and of course his dear wife Jackie, who we've known for many years and actually met sitting at a table in Jerusalem together. So where else better to meet in life than in our homeland, especially in this day and age. So first of all, Mazel Tov, Eric. You are so well deserving of this on many levels for many different reasons. You know, there's a story that is told that asks when it is that God created human beings, and not just when God created human beings, but when God put light into human beings. And I'll tell you what I mean by that in a moment. But the point is that God did indeed put some kind of light in every human being as they were born. And the Council of Angels comes to God and says, you know, there's only one problem with light. If human beings actually know they have it, they won't know what to do with it, and they'll ruin it somehow. And we want to hide it. And this is, by the way, how the light got into every human being. God laughs at the Council of Angels and says, God, you try to hide it. So they get together, and you can imagine 20 Jewish angels in one room, like 60 opinions, arguing, yelling, screaming back and forth. And one angel says, I know what to do with the light. Let's hide it in the highest parts of the heavens. Human beings will never ever think to look there. Another angel says, no, one day they're going to create flying machines. They'll get up there, they'll find it, and they'll ruin it. So another angel says, I know what to do with it. Let's put it in the very bottom of the seabed, the bottom of the ocean. They'll never find it there. Another angel says, no, they're going to create something called scuba diving equipment. They'll get to the bottom of the ocean, they'll find it, and they'll ruin it. And now they're really going at it, knowing they have one more chance to come up with a legitimate answer. Back and forth and back. And finally, the youngest angel, the shyest one, but as teachers know that usually when they're shy and quiet, they're also incredibly wise. She said, I have an answer. And the head angel quieted everyone down and says, young angel, what do you say? And she said, I know what to do with the light. Let's take a little bit and put it inside every single human being when they're born. And I promise you, human beings will never think to look right within themselves to find their most important asset, the light that they bring into the world. So I started by saying God puts light into us. This is the story of how it got there. So the point is, we all walk around with the most important asset, meaning, direction, and purpose right within us. But our souls get so blocked up, life gets so cloudy, that we look every place outside and we forget to look right within, where our wisdom exists, where it's sat, where it's been placed since the very day that we were born. Why do I tell this story? For two reasons. One is that JVS, the Jewish Vocational Services, have always been an organization that knows what it means to help bring out the light of others. When people are in their darkest places, and that means they're without work, they're not sure how they're going to support themselves, their families, put food on the table, to pay their mortgages, that's darkness. Whatever we think about actual light and darkness, that is existential and spiritual darkness. Well, JVS brings light into those situations and really, in effect, brings light into the world. Well, Eric Witmondt is the perfect person, perfect recipient of this honor this year, because Eric Witmondt and Jackie as well are people of light. Eric, when you walk into a room, the light shines, meaning the room lights up. When you're in a conversation, the curiosity in your eyes, your sense of really wanting to know people for who they are, not just knowing them, but figuring out how you can help them, how you can make them whole, how you could bring them, in effect, again, light. That's you, Eric Witmondt. You're gregarious, you're magnanimous, you're humble, you're loving, you're successful, you're giving. On every level, you are someone who brings a sense of hope into this world. And during these days when we are so lacking of hope, when we're so downtrodden because of what's happening in our homeland, right here on our college campuses, we start to keep our heads down. Eric Witmondt is someone who always walks around with his head straight up, knowing that he's called to do important things in this world, not just for himself and his wife and his kids, but for the whole world, and specifically the Jewish community. So Eric Witmondt, you've helped solve that age-old puzzle put forth by the Council of Angels, to know that you have light, we have light, But it doesn't mean anything unless there are people like you who understand exactly what it means to unlock that puzzle. So thank you for unlocking that puzzle. Thank you for helping solve it for us. And thank you for doing good in our world. You really represent those who feed the hungry, who clothe the naked, who unshackle the oppressed, and there should be many more like you. So mazel tov to you. I'm so sorry, just given my crazy rabbinic schedule, that I'm sort of triple booked tonight. But my heart's there, Lauren's heart is there, and we wish both of you a very, very hearty mazel tov.
Wow, I got to follow that, huh? Not fair. Now I'm going to turn the program over to David Pecan. David is the president of the Board of Trustees of JVS. He took over about a year ago. He took over for Ken Peskin. Ken stayed on an extra year for us because of COVID, but now David is the new president. It's been kind of a chaotic year, David. Can't promise the second year is going to be any less chaotic. So.
Thank you, Michael. It has been chaotic, but I think we can all say it's been very successful. And thank you all for coming here today. I want to start off, Eric, another note. Now, if you know Eric, he does not like being the center of attention, and he has now had to listen to a number of people praise him. And I'm going to do the same thing, but I'll do it very briefly. Honestly, Eric, you are just one of those people who are just all about impact. You don't want the credit, you just want to know you've had an impact on people. And that's why you are a special person and you've helped make JVS a special person. So thank you. So by way of background, I joined JVS approximately 15 years ago because I was so impressed with what I learned that they do. And as I began to learn about their rich history, I came to understand why JVS is where it is today and why I am confident JVS will be just as successful, if not more so, in the future. As you heard in the video, JVS was founded in 1939 with a mission to help Jewish immigrants who were leaving Europe because their lives were in danger. They came to America with little and needed to start over in a country where they didn't even speak the language and where often they were without the skills, the vocational skills applicable to a place like New York City or the New Jersey suburbs. Maybe, in fact, some of your parents or grandparents were part of that immigration wave. At that time, back in 1939, most of our clients were males. At that time, mostly males were the breadwinners. And the three-person staff of what was then known as Community Employment Service in its inaugural year helped 650 immigrants. And then, over 85 years, as the world has changed, so too is JVS. We are not just about helping Jewish immigrants, very far from it. When there was a move back in the 1970s to have people with disabilities come out of the institutions and come back to the community, JVS began working with people with physical and psychological disabilities. And today, JVS is a leader in the field. Then, when women began to come into the workforce in droves in the 1970s, JVS was there once again to support their transition from the home to the workplace. Today, half of our clients are women. And when a crisis in a country brought Soviet Jews back to the United States, JVS hired bilingual staff to help them integrate into their new country. And as you heard about other immigrants, like the Darfurian refugees that we helped many years ago, most recently today, it's the immigrants from Haiti, and we've hired Creole-speaking case managers, and as a result, have had a 5-fold increase in the number of refugees we've served, nearly 800. And now, more recently, in the last year or two, maybe 3 years, when the pandemic shone light on the disparities and the inequities in our own community, JVS created, with Eric's help, the Center for Economic Opportunity, which is to provide career pathways for low to moderate income individuals. You've heard some of the numbers. We've already helped hundreds of people, training them to become pharmacy technicians, home health aides, apartment maintenance technicians, and production technicians, all thanks to training at JVS. And tonight, Eric, when he gets a chance to speak to you, we'll talk about that new initiative that JVS is about to embark on, a refugee legal assistance program that will help people who are new to this country obtain a work permit. Yet another way JVS is helping to knock down barriers to employment. There are essentially 2 qualities that, when I think about JVS, really stand out to me. First is it's our ongoing ability to identify and address urgent needs in the community by helping people overcome barriers to any number of factors, whether they be ability, education, immigration status, job skills training, language, or socioeconomic factors. And second, and perhaps most distinctly, it's the caring of our staff. All you have to do is attend one of the graduations for the cohorts that we have. I did just 2 weeks ago, both a combined ESL and Farm Tech, and to see the emotion of the people who were graduating and getting a certificate, more importantly, having an opportunity for a job, but just to see how the staff felt and the emotion they felt. Truly, you couldn't watch that without choking up. I am confident that it's just those 2 qualities that have made us so successful over the last 85 years, and without doubt will continue to help us in the next 85 and beyond. Tonight, we are here to both honor the past, the present, but more importantly, to talk about shaping the future of JVS. Since its earliest days, the organization that would become JVS was intrinsically entwined with the organization that would become the Jewish Federation of Greater Metro West. To speak more about that partnership, our partnership, over the years, I'd like to welcome Michael Goldberg, the president of the Jewish Federation and a valuable member of our Board of Trustees. Michael?
Good evening, everyone. I would first like to mention that it has been 219 days since October 7th attack, and Israel continues to face unprecedented threats to its security. Our hearts are with the people of Israel. We pray for their safety and for the safe return of the hostages. As David mentioned, JVS was founded in 1939, and the Jewish Federation of Greater Metro West is celebrating their 100th anniversary this year. So we are both very old. We are here today to celebrate the invaluable partnership between the Jewish Federation of Greater Metro West and JVS. This collaboration embodies the essence of community, resilience, and empowerment that define our shared heritage. The Jewish Federation has long been a pillar of support for Jewish communities in our region by providing vital resources, fostering connections, strengthening Jewish identities, and addressing the evolving needs of our diverse population. Similarly, JVS has been a cornerstone of opportunity and growth for individuals seeking to build better lives by offering vocational training, career counseling, and job placement services. JVS has empowered countless individuals to achieve economic independence and self-sufficiency. Its dedication to the principles of dignity and equality ensure that all members of the community have the chance to realize their full potential. It's truly inspiring to witness the evolution of our community's wait, that's supposed to be inclusive of my own shortcomings. Inclusivity and embrace individuals of all abilities, gender identities, and ethnic backgrounds. Our commitment to inclusivity, oh boy. You had to put it twice. Extends beyond mere tolerance. It encompasses a genuine embrace of diversity in all its forms. The Jewish Federation and JVS have played a crucial role in fostering this positive change by promoting awareness, education, and advocacy for inclusion. I know I used to shy away from individuals with disabilities and special needs. Now I embrace and engage with them. The partnership between Federation and JVS is a testament to the power of collaboration and collective action. Together, they have forged pathways of opportunity for individuals facing barriers to employment, enabling them to contribute meaningfully to society and fulfill their aspirations. And by the way, being in the apartment business, leasing apartments to many of these individuals in our buildings. JVS is integral to the Jewish Federation of Greater Metro West, serving a critical ally in advancing our shared mission of building a stronger and inclusive community. Our bond serves as a shining example of what can be achieved when we come together in pursuit of a common goal. I know Ira Robbins is going to be introducing Eric shortly, but I cannot leave without a few comments of my own. Our families have known each other through our parents and hopefully continuing to many future generations. Eric's father, the real Don, would always give him an attaboy when he did something good. So I am wondering what he is saying to Eric tonight. His being involved with JVS has raised the profile and thought process of the board and organization. I continually use one of his sayings: what could you do today that in 6 months from now, you don't have to say, why didn't I do that 6 months ago? And personally, being an investor in some of Eric's real estate projects and the great returns they provide has given me the ability to be more charitable. So to my good friend Eric, thank you for helping JVS and its clients reach their potential. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Okay, and now for the part of the program that I know many of you have come for, this celebration of Eric Witmondt. Please turn your attention to the video screens.
From a fundamental perspective, understanding what the impact is that JVS could have within the community, there's no better director than Eric in being able to provide value and insight. However, his ability to collectively bring people together is what makes him special and so unique. And the input that he's had on the board and everyone that he's been able to really bring onto the board has been a function, really more of that than I would say some of the financial aptitude that he has.
Eric has a very good work ethic. And once he puts his mind to something, whether it was during the working hours, which he gave plenty of his time to JVS, he had a purpose and a mission, and I believe he worked very hard to accomplish. As a parent or any observer, I am pleased and proud.
I think one of the most impactful projects that Eric and I have been able to work on together has really been workforce development. Eric and I remember sitting around a table discussing what were the strategic challenges that organizations like JVS and other nonprofits were going to have. So we created the Center for Economic Opportunity together, and we really tried to connect the business community and the areas in which we sit. And workforce development was a challenge that sat within the business community at that point.
To that end, Eric, with the JVS team, identified firms in Essex County that needed trained employees, and then came back to JVS and worked with the people that were seeking help and trained them on those skills, and then sent them to the employer who's agreed to employ them.
I remember one of my first visits to East Orange and some of the contributions that JVS was providing to the local community from a job training perspective. And to really see the advancement as to the skill sets as to what some of these individuals are now being trained through that center is something that's been a real accomplishment that I think Eric's been really spearheading. So it's not just bringing entry-level people into the workforce, but really being technical people into the workforce that provides them an opportunity and a career outside of just a job. And Eric's direction and steadfast engagement has been something that's been a marvel for me to witness, and I think something that's really been impactful for the entire community.
I would say that I admire Eric and certainly proud of the efforts that he made, and you deserve this recognition. You have distinguished yourself in not only in your business career, but in your efforts to help other people in charitable events, of which I know you've been a very giving person to in many different areas of charity, and this was one of them. So thank you.
Eric is worthy of this outside of the commitment he's been able to put forth from a financial perspective, outside of the commitment he's been able to put forth from a human capital perspective, and the time and effort that he's committed to making sure that JVS has a long-time relevancy and the impact on the community. He has such a warm place for so many people, not just from me from a professional perspective, but all those that he comes into contact with. He's a real special person.
And now to formally introduce Eric, I am delighted to invite up Ira Robbins, Chairman and CEO of Valley Bank and a member of the Board of Trustees of JVS. Thank you. Inclusivity. Inclusivity. One more time, are we good? Look, I want to say thank you for having me up here. Before I get the honor and privilege of introducing Eric, Jackie, thank you for being by his side for so many years and supporting him with what he does. So I do procrastinate a little bit, and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to say about Eric today. But my kids asked me yesterday, let's go watch a movie. So I was like, maybe I'll go do that instead. Now, those that know me know I don't watch movies at all. So I went back to my catalog and said, maybe it's time to find something where I last watched a movie. So I saw the movie 300, which was from 2006, 2007. So I had a little catching up to do. So we watched the movie together, my 4 kids and I. And it's a story of the king of Sparta, right? And there's 200,000 Persians coming to attack him. And my kids are so into this movie, watching the goriness, the battling, and everything else that goes on. And my one kid's asked me at the end of the show, why did 300 people follow one person to their death? And it started to dawn on me, man's a real leader. What did he do to get someone to sit there and give their lives for their country at the indemnity that was going to happen to them? And my son asked me, what is a leader? And I thought about it for a little bit. I said morals, character, values, all the traditional things that everyone else says. And then I said to him, where was he when the battle came? Right up front. Where was he the night before when he was talking to his soldiers, with every single one of them? Where was he when it came time to eat with them, with every single one of them? And I said, a leader shows up. And I thought of Eric as a leader, not just because you put your wallet out, not just because you put your heart out,
because you show up as a human being every single time something needs to get done. And then I followed through and thought through the movie, how does one person have an impact like that? And that is the testament of a true leader, Eric, where one individual can have the impact where 300 people can take on 200,000 people. You don't just show up as a leader every single day. You show up as a leader that has impact, Eric. Impact that touches those that you see, and more importantly, those that you don't see. That's genuine from your heart perspective, and I'm honored and privileged to welcome you and to congratulate you on this honor today. Congrats.
See if this stays in, probably not. So I don't know if I'm dead or alive, because I feel like I've been eulogized tonight. So I guess I could call it a night and say that's it. But needless to say, it's pretty exhausting to be at an event like this and to be honored, which I'm obviously very appreciative of. But to walk around and see all of my friends, business associates, colleagues, people from JVS, and how much they care about this organization. So I really want to thank everybody for all of your support for this organization. That's what it's about. The honoree is here to bring everyone together in order to get everyone to be able to have an awareness about the organization and to raise money for the organization. But I want to give everyone a round of applause for supporting the organization, and that's what's so meaningful to me and to everyone at JVS. So thank you. I was first introduced to JVS by Howard Jacobs. Howard Jacobs was here tonight and is still a board member. How long have you been involved, Howard, with JVS? How many years? 20 years. So Howard, about 10 or 11 years ago, brought me onto the board. I was kicking and screaming a little bit, but I agreed to join the board. And I got very involved from day one. And right away, I said, well, if Howard Jacobs is bringing all these people on the board, I have to do my fair share. So I introduced Ira Robbins to the board, who did his own due diligence and saw the benefits of JVS and got very involved and was last year's honoree. And then prior to that, I actually brought Michael Goldberg and introduced him to JVS. And Michael was also a past honoree, was a past president, and is now president of Federation, as you heard of Metro West. And Michael and his wife, Terry, are pillars of our community and have done as much in our community as anyone that I know. And both Terry and Michael are a real inspiration to both Jackie and I and to everybody in this room. So thanks for all you do for this community. The future of JVS, and tonight's a prime example of this, is very bright. We are looking to add more board members. Howie, I'm giving another plug, thanks to you, to this great organization that are passionate about the cause, because this organization will only continue to thrive as we add board members that are going to have inspiration and commitment to continue to change and adapt JVS as the world continues to change. The great thing about JVS, for me, is the direct impact that it has on individual lives. You get to see it every time you interact with the staff, with the people we support, which we call our clients, and in our various programs. JVS is one of the few philanthropic organizations that I'm involved with where I could see my efforts and my support directly impacting the lives of the people that we serve. Just last month, as you saw in the video, I attended, along with David and many other board members and staff, the pharmacy technician graduation. We had 15 immigrants from Ukraine, Haiti, and Nigeria that all signed up for this program. All 15 of them had to go through an intensive 2-week ESL, which is English as a second language training program, to understand what pharmacy in the English language, how it translates to their native tongue. They then went through a 6 to 8 week program to become certified technicians. All 15 people that started in this program graduated. All of their families and friends were there, and there were tears at that graduation. You saw how JVS impacted those individuals, but their families and their lives going forward which also greatly impacts the communities that they live in, which is the greater Metro West area. So we all can see ourselves really doing good by helping others, and we're actually helping ourselves and giving them self-esteem so they can help their families and the communities that they live in. JVS is now celebrating, as you heard, our 85th anniversary. And you heard about a lot of the different programs that JVS supports. You get to see whether you're going to a pharmacy and bumping into a farm tech that graduated from JVS, an apartment technician that might be servicing your apartment, or various other JVS graduates that are now working within our communities and making our communities better. Most people that have not heard of JVS don't realize all the different programs that JVS does and is committed to. And you commonly hear, I didn't know that JVS did that too. As Ira Robbins mentioned, during the COVID pandemic, we were concerned about JVS's existence. It was very difficult at that time to raise money. There weren't government grants available, and we were basically closed down. And we needed to figure out, how do we create a sustainable future for JVS where we're not relying on government grants, fundraisers like this, and handouts? And Ira and I came together and thought about how our history of workforce training could then be put to work where we saw employers that were looking for frontline jobs, and they could not find them in the community, and they couldn't find people who were well trained. So we took our workforce development training, put it into action, and are creating sponsorships now with corporate employers who are going to be our partners, where we will specifically tailor jobs and job training for their needs and be able to then place individuals that we are training at JVS at no cost to the individual, placing that employee fully trained with the certification into those jobs at no cost to the employer. And we're hoping that the corporate sponsorships that those employers will create for us will create a funding mechanism, not just for the Center of Economic Opportunity, but can help fund many other programs that JVS has that is no longer getting the funding that we used to get through grants or government subsidies or philanthropic causes. We're trying to create a situation at JVS where we could be self-sustainable and be able to fund other programs without having our hands out. Oops, my glasses went down, which I didn't need. Fortunately, I don't need my glasses at the moment. Thank you, David. What we did since 2021, JVS and our Center of Economic Opportunity was a pilot program. Now that that pilot program has graduated 200 or more people, we're now going to launch this formally into the community. And we're already talking to a number of corporate employers that are based in the greater Newark area that want to become corporate partners and help sponsor this program going forward. I have, what we're hoping that the Center for Economic Opportunity will be able to do is it's going to provide the free training for the underemployed and unemployed people that come to JVS for job skills trainings. It's going to provide life skills training, as you heard from David Pecan, as well as financial literacy and conflict resolution. When students graduate, they're going to be certified, and our hope is that they will always have a job waiting for them from our corporate employers. Secondly, our corporate partners are going to fill entry-level positions with qualified people who are trained and certified and who have gone through a rigorous program with us. And they will see that they are committed and have attended the programs and have graduated, and therefore their likelihood of being a good employee at the company that they're going to is much greater than hiring someone off the street. Third, we're hopeful that this program is going to provide us the resources to fund the Center for Economic Opportunity, and as I mentioned before, the other programs that are so important to JVS to keep funding. What we're looking for, one other thing that we're going to do that I was on the tape, is that we're now Fortunately, from the fundraising that we achieved today, we more than achieved our goals for fundraising, and we exceeded our goals by actually $100,000, which is now going to completely fund the Refugee Legal Assistance Program that you heard about on the video. And that was something we were hoping to achieve from this event. With everyone's help, we think we can make an even greater impact on the community over the next 85 years. And I actually have a call to action for everybody in this room. First, I want to invite you to spread the word about all the great work that JVS is doing. Be an advocate in the community, create awareness for us. Second, which is going to be my primary focus over the next year, will be to engage more employer partners for our workforce training programs at the Center of Economic Opportunity. Tonight, I'm appealing to any of you who have a business and need to hire people, or know businesses that need to hire people, whether it's for certified technicians that can maintain your properties, healthcare workers, or something entirely different. JVS will meet with you, design a customized training program that addresses your specific job skills needs, and work with the applicable certification board to ensure that employees have the qualifications that are needed to come work for you. If you provide the job description and skills, we will fill the openings and certify our clients to fill those positions. Again, our clients are going to be trained at no cost to them. Oops, that's my last page. JVS, by having these corporate employers, is going to be able to get the funding we need to continue the worthwhile work that we do and reduce our reliance on government and private donations to fulfill our mission. By getting involved as a corporate employer partner, it's a great business decision and it's a mitzvah. You're truly helping others help themselves. There are cards on the table to let us know if you're interested in becoming involved, or drop your business card in the bowl by the door when you leave, and someone from JVS will get in touch with you. Together, we can help people less fortunate than all of us overcome barriers and find employment and financial stability for themselves and their family, which in turn improves our communities. Thank you again for honoring me tonight and for taking the time out of your busy schedules to join us here at Greenbrook Country Club. I know on behalf of the JVS Board of Trustees and the entire staff, and most especially the people that we serve, thank you for supporting JVS.
That was terrific, Eric. Thank you very much. Folks, we were delighted you could come. We hope you learned a little bit more about JVS. Enjoy and drive home safely, everyone.